Queen Esther. Keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters. Hebrews 13, verse 1. God's people care for each other. Esther, a little girl, lived in the land of Persia. When both of her parents died, Esther went to live with her older cousin Mordecai. Mordecai loved Esther and cared for her as if she were his own young daughter. As Esther grew to be a young woman, Mordecai taught her all the things parents teach their children. He taught her to be kind and helpful. He taught her to be honest and brave, and he taught her to worship and love God. Although Esther and Mordecai lived in Persia, they weren't Persian. They were Jewish, and Mordecai didn't want Esther to forget the God of her people. When Esther was a young woman, the king of Persia decided to look for a new queen. Young women from all over the country were called to the palace. The king would choose a new queen from among them. Esther was one of those young women. Each young woman enjoyed a year of special care before they went to meet the king. During this time, they lived in a special part of the king's palace and were cared for by special helpers. Esther was such a kind, thoughtful girl that she soon became friends with the one in charge of all the girls. He gave her 7 special maids, the best food, and the best place to stay. Mordecai worked in the king's palace. He could walk in the gardens near to where the young women lived. There he could find out how Esther was and what was happening to her. Finally, it came time for Esther to meet the king. Would he like her? Would he like her more than the other young women? Would he make her queen? The king put a royal crown on Esther's head. He made her queen. He gave a great feast for her. He proclaimed a holiday throughout the entire country and gave lots of gifts in honor of his new queen. Mordecai had cared for Esther most of her life, and he didn't stop caring for her when she became queen. Mordecai and Esther were part of God's family, and people in God's family never stop caring for each other. How can you show others that you care for them? Think of several things that you can do. Can you help people in your family? Can you pray for them? Can you sing a song for them or give them a hug? Show your love to someone in your family today.